Hey everybody, welcome back to Homesteading Off the Grid. In a mid-afternoon ramble here, we are dedicating some inspiration ornaments to 20 people right now on our Tree of Triumph. Now the Eastern Red Cedar that started out with the first ornaments of inspiration is full. Now our Tree of Triumph is full. That's okay because we're done with ornaments. We're going on to something bigger and better, and here's a hint. I've got crayons coming out my ears. Almost literally right here. So anyway, guys, I've broken out my entire arsenal of crayons. I mentioned in this morning's ramble I was going to do that, but I've done it out of love, not hate. We do have an inspirational ornament on our Triumph tree for all the trolls, everybody who wants to be negative this time of year and all times of year. We're done with you. We're moving forward with love in a big way with crayons this afternoon. Right now, Dearly and Daniel are down there being nice little elves, preparing this crayon arsenal. We cracked open the safe. We have more crayons than you could imagine. We're putting them to good use. This afternoon, maybe the last hour of daylight, we're going to begin coloring the world with love in a field of faith, based upon your faith, your stories, your hope, your surviving traumatic times and tragedy. I'm going to share 20 of these stories with you right now. The 20 ornaments that just went up here within the last half hour are for these people. Number one, Forrest Johnson, who's a veteran. Thank you, sir, for your service. He said he didn't need a name or a bulb or an ornament for himself because he has God, but he wanted us to place up an ornament for a nameless veteran. We've done that, sir. Number two, username Hydrofire. Hydrofire has a very special woman that comes into his home 3 times a week to provide in-home health care for him. This woman's name is Renee Cole. He wants an ornament up in honor of Renee Cole, and he let us know that Renee also works with sick babies several other days of the week. So there's one there, Hydrofire, for Renee Cole. Okay, then we have Kathia Stout. She lost her soulmate of 33 years to Agent Orange, an Agent Orange brain tumor. Her father died of colon cancer, and just yesterday she buried her fur baby. So Kathia, we know how important fur babies are. I have a bunch of them here. Most of them are wild or free range at least, but I have Cleopatra, so our hearts go out to you, and you have an ornament on the tree here, on the Tree of Triumph. Number 4, Gail Greenberg. Her friend Renee, due to what appears to be some family bickering, has just become estranged from her grandchildren. Gail, your friend Renee has an ornament of inspiration up here on our Tree of Triumph. Number 5, Tammy English. Tammy requested an ornament for herself, and she said she felt selfish in doing so. Tammy, don't. Tammy suffers physical pain, but she also she's a recovering opioid addict. So right now, Tammy is dealing with pain, and she's terrified to go back on the pills because she knows that doing so will kill her this time. Tammy, you've got nothing to feel selfish about. If you followed the channel for a while, you know my story. It's a selfish disease. It needs to be a selfish recovery. You better believe we hung an ornament high up here for you. Thoughts, prayers, best well wishes, and motivational practice or meditative practices going out to you, okay, with your dilemma. Number 6, Clifton Funk. Similar story. Clifton is fighting pain and addiction, and he says the pain sucks, but addiction is worse. Me and Tammy know what you're talking about. We've got an ornament on the tree. Number 7, Kay Hopper. She lost her twin recently on November 6th. He had cancer. So this is going to be Kay's first Christmas without her twin brother. We're sorry, Kay. You, and in honor of your brother's memory, you have an inspirational ornament on our Tree of Triumph. Number 8, Ash's Treasure, longtime subscriber. We always love seeing her comments. She wanted, and this is unique, and I'm glad she brought this up because this is something I wouldn't have thought of. She wanted an ornament hung for people who suffer from food allergies and who have lost their lives because of food allergies. Food allergies is a big deal these days. I don't have any, so I would have never thought of this. So thank you, Ash's Treasure, for bringing that to our attention. And she wanted an ornament for survivors of domestic violence. So Ash's Treasure, you got your ornament on the Tree of Triumph. Number 9, Tasha Patton. Sad story. Tasha left a very long comment. Tasha lost her first child. It was a premature baby and it didn't make it. So she went through that, and then sometime later she became pregnant with twins. They were born prematurely. You can only imagine the fear she had when this happened, having already lost one baby because of premature birth. Fortunately, the good news is they were born back in 2011, I believe she said. To this day, they're alive and well. So, Tasha Patton, thank you for sharing your story of strength and overcoming adversity with us, and the good happy ending there. You and your little twins, and the one that you lost years ago, have an ornament of inspiration up here on our Tree of Triumph. We've got an ornament up here for CC Bear 1975 and her 2 kids. She's an at-home mom who not only homeschools her children, but goes through major health complications. She's got a lot of health complications. She's had cancer. It was just a litany of health issues, and I couldn't imagine the pain associated with even getting up and getting out of bed every day. But she said in her comment that she does it because her daughters are relying on her to do so. That is a show of strength. Thank you for telling us your story. Number 11, Savannah Prince. I hope you don't cry at hearing your name, Savannah. She mentioned in her comment that she cried yesterday hearing her sister's name, Jennifer. Jennifer was a lady, young lady who died and had passed on, and she wanted a red bulb because she's an Atlanta Falcons fan, and I thought she wanted a green or a purple bulb because she was a Philadelphia Eagles fan. Well, Savannah's her sister. Savannah has the same disease her sister had. So guys, let's hold Savannah up in our prayers, well wishes, meditative practices. Savannah, you along with your sister now have an ornament on this tree. Number 11, S. Karn. We put an orb up for S. Karn and her mother, who is her only family member left, and who sadly is in the late stages of Alzheimer's. So S. Karn, yours was the first request for somebody who has Alzheimer's. So the ornament we put up is for you, your mother, and everybody who suffers from this terrible disease. Number 13, Kathy Abell. We've got a bulb up for Kathy Abell and her husband Steve. Kathy Abell had open heart surgery some years ago, and she survived that. But now her husband Steve has had an abnormal EKG, and they've got some upcoming diagnostic procedures ahead of them. So Kathy and your husband Steve, you guys are on the Tree of Triumph, and we're rooting for you, okay? Sherry 1674 and her 5 cats. Sherry lives alone as both of her parents have passed. Sherry's fur babies are her family. She's got 2 cats that live inside with her and 3 that are feral that are outside that she feeds. Sherry, you're not alone this Christmas or this holiday, whatever you celebrate, this holiday season. You're not alone because you and your fur babies have an ornament of inspiration up here on our Tree of Triumph. You're not alone. 15, the AJ family. We've got an orb up here for the entire AJ family. They pointed out that their oldest child is a cancer survivor of 23 years, and whoever was typing on behalf of the AJ family typed 3 words of inspiration at the end of their message. There is hope. There is hope. That's why we broke out the crayons, the entire arsenal, and it's coming at you here in a few hours. I'll get to that here in just a minute. We've only got 5 more to go. Bear with me. Okay, Grampy Campy. He's been with us a long time. He's been with us. You know, our channel's going to turn 2 years old in just a matter of days. In 2 weeks from today, on the 16th of December, this channel's 2 years old. In the first year, we got all of about, I think, maybe 40 subscribers. And in the last year, it's gone gangbusters. We went over 68,000 subscribers last night. So we got about 68 subscribers in the first year and about 68,000 in the second year. Thank you to each and every single one of you who are one of those 68,000 and growing. Grampy Campy was one of the first original 68, so he's been around with us for a while. Never knew this though. He let us know that his wife has a terminal lung disease, and he has rheumatoid arthritis in his hands, back, knees, and hips. So Grampy Campy, there's an inspirational ornament on our Triumph tree up here for you and your wife. Janet J wanted one held high for people with childhood trauma and who suffer PTSD and childhood PTSD. Janet, you've got your request. It's up there. Number 18, Patty 64. They just found out her son has a blood clot in his leg, and I guess while going in for this medical condition, they found out that he has diabetes. So Patty, we're thinking of you and your son, and you've got an inspirational ornament on the Tree of Triumph. Number 19, Ange Webb. Here's another amazing story of forgiveness. 12 years ago, Ange lost her 17-year-old daughter to a drunk driver. Ange's daughter was a passenger in a car that was hit by a drunk, and she died. And the really amazing thing, something very powerful here, is Ange said that she forgave the drunk driver. She found it in her heart to forgive the individual who got behind the wheel of a vehicle when they were inebriated and took her daughter from her and the rest of us in this world. And she's forgiven that person. Amazing. Number 20. Their user ID is simply JLSS. She mentioned, or he, it might be a man, I don't know, but they're estranged from their son, and they have been for 3 years. If you've been following the channel, you know my story. My heart goes out to you. I share your pain. You and your situation has an ornament up here. Now, I mentioned this morning that if the trolls kept being all nasty and stuff, we're going to break out the whole arsenal of crayons. You know, I appreciate your support on this page. We get way more love here than we do hate, and I guess for some reason, maybe in a moment of weakness, I was focusing on the hate. But then I thought, you know what? They really gave me, just the way my mind works, the way ideas are formulated, they gave me a great idea. Why not break out the entire arsenal of crayons and color the world with love anyway, even if it's not to combat hate directly? You can never throw too much love out there in the universe, and I swear I believe whatever we throw out there in the universe throws right back at us. That's why it's so important for people that hate themselves to forgive themselves, so they'll stop throwing that hate out there, because the only way you're going to stop hating everybody in the whole world around you is if you stop hating yourself. And the only way to do that is to forgive yourself for things that oftentimes weren't even your fault. If you made the best decisions you could make with the information you had available to make those decisions at the time, it's not your fault. You need to forgive yourself. It took me years to do it. It took me years to get over my hatred of the world and everybody in it, but I got there, and you can get there too. The crayons are out. The elves are down there working with the crayons, and in the last hour of daylight today, because these requests, these stories of inspiration, strength, and hope are piling up so quickly. I mean, I come outside, I move a firewood pile from here into the woodshed, put more firewood in the house, come out to chop some more firewood, go back in, and bam, there's 20 more stories. So they're coming at us. I'm bringing the crayons. We're going to color the world with love, with a field of faith, all beginning with these inspirational orbs that have gone on the Tree of Triumph, the Tree of Inspiration down here, the bird feeder that's for the veterans. Give us your stories. We're going to give you a crayon, not to run you off, not in a bad way. Trust me, we're not using our crayons as weapons of hate. We're using them as weapons of love. You're going to find out exactly what I'm talking about when you see me next time here in just a few hours. So thanks for being with us from here at Homesteading Off the Grid. I've got a flock of beautiful, see them up there? Turkey buzzards or vultures or something. Again, when my wife first moved to the U.S., quick story, then I'll go, I promise, if there is such a thing of me telling a quick story. There's Cleopatra. The first time Dearly saw a buzzard, she said, "Oh, is that an eagle? That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Is that an eagle?" And I laughed at her. I said, "No, those are buzzards. Those are vultures. Those are nasty creatures. They eat, you know, dead stuff." And she looked at it. She had me pull over the side of the road to look at them. She'd never seen them before because they don't have this type in the Philippines. And so she looked at it and she said, "There's nothing ugly about that bird at all. That's a beautiful bird." And I began nearly 40, well, yeah, I'm 45 now. We've been here 3 years. So I was in my 40s, 42 years old. For the first time in 42 years old, I started viewing vultures as the beautiful animals that they are. For 42 years, I've been led to believe they were something ugly. They're not. They're beautiful. So now when I see a flock of buzzards, I see something beautiful. So I just thought I'd share that story with you. I'm going to share some more with you when I get back up here with my crayons. The arsenal is open, the crayons are out, and we're going to be bringing them to you here in about 2 hours. Thanks for being with us for more from here to Homesteading Off the Grid. Tell us your stories, keep them coming.